Well, hello there! This video is made with the help of barweer.com, who sent me the set for this review. If you still don't know, barweer.com is an internet store that is selling all kinds of awesome looking building block sets from brands like Kada, Sluban, Mold King and many more. So I encourage you to follow the links in the video description and check out their store. So now let's get to the stuff they actually sent me today. Today I will be looking at this McLaren Solus GT inspired set from brand named Eikee. And here I must say this is the first time of me hearing about this brand, so I have zero expectations. At the moment of making this video, on barweer.com this set costs roughly around 43 euros plus shipping, and it is quite large, consisting of 2135 pieces. But now let's take a look at the package that they sent me. First of all, we have this barweer sticker, which is actually pretty large. Then we have this book. Yeah, just by looking at how thick it is, I mean, it definitely feels like a book. And on the cover, we don't have any mention of McLaren. We don't even have the name Solus over here. Instead, it's Solus GT. But I mean, yeah, we definitely know what car is inspiring this set. However, I find this type of stuff really funny whenever I see that people are trying not to name any brands. But what do we have inside the manual? Oh, here we have sheet of stickers. Oh, and we actually have pretty cool illustrations. I mean, those look nice. Yeah, we even have some sort of like a detail exposure over here. And further on, all the illustrations for each and individual step we should take also look pretty good because they are really large. And I mean, they definitely haven't spared any paper on the manual. Okay, next we have this little curious box in which appears we have some really large parts. Oh yeah, and these are actually like very specific parts that personally I haven't seen in any other Technica style sets. So that's nice. And finally, of course, we have all the bits and pieces divided in smaller bags. And there is also this curious notice. Oh yeah, it just makes point that we will have to use different color piece at some point, I guess. Okay, all I can say so far is that I feel really intrigued by this set. So right now I will assemble it, and afterwards, of course, I will tell you all about it and we will judge it. So see you in a bit. Is this a spaceship? No, it's McLaren Solus GT. And I must say, this design really seems so futuristic to me. And I could easily see a car like this being used by Batman or some sort of other superhero or supervillain. But yes, this is how this car looks in a real life. And I think they have done a very good job on like trying to build this out of Technica style bricks right here. And although I'm not the biggest fan of supercars or hypercars in real life, but I do think they look really cool when they are made into these building block sets. But okay, now let's get into the details about how was the experience when I was building this one. First of all, let's talk about the big book over here. Yes, indeed, this manual was very thick, but I must say they have really done a really good job on this manual, because there were no mistakes, and you can tell that all the images are really large. And what I really like about them is the fact that in many cases we have these double images, like showing where exactly you should put parts in from multiple angles, and I always find that very helpful. Also, all these one-to-one illustrations are absolutely perfect, and again, they are very helpful. And overall, I think, yeah, they haven't spared paper to this manual, and it definitely shows, because the quality of this whole thing was really good. So I give this manual a giant thumbs up, and I definitely love this thing. It always makes me smile when I see rebranding like this. Oh yes, another thing that I think is worth pointing out is the fact that all of these pieces that are at an angle, not only do they have this one-to-one illustration, but also they have like the number, just like Lego does it. So you can be absolutely 100% sure which angle piece do you need in any given step. Next, I want to quickly mention the stickers. We don't have many stickers in this set, but the ones that we do have are actually pretty good quality, although they are not the type of stickers I had with the Power Block set, but they still have this like transfer film for applying them on the bricks, and in my opinion it works really good, because then you have this film on top of the sticker that is slightly larger than the sticker itself, therefore it is much more easily to apply them with a precision. And as you can see, we ended up with a few extra stickers, and I guess that's because they give us spares, because these are very long, so if you mess up once you actually have something to try again. Next, I want to tell you about the building block quality. Well, this time for the Technica style pieces, they are very good. I mean, they are almost excellent. Like, they definitely have like an A+ rating in my scale, although they have a tiny bit of variation. For the most part, you don't even notice it. And as I said, they feel really good, and they were absolutely awesome to build with. I didn't have any pieces that were too hard to put together, and also I didn't have any pieces that would be like falling off each other. Therefore, the margin of error between the blocks really is tiny. However, when it comes to classic style bricks, that we do have some in this set, particularly here at the back side, they felt a little bit harder to put together. Not terrible, not like finger destroying or anything. They just felt very sturdy when you put them together, and they are definitely not like falling apart on their own. And for the model like this, I would say that that's a very good thing, because you really don't want any part of it being like loose and yeah, just fall off of it. However, yes, they felt a little bit harder to put together, but I didn't use any extra tools for assembling this set, and that's kind of like a measuring thing for me. If I don't have to use any like pliers or any like hard surfaces to press against to complete the set, I will call it extremely good. And that being said, we also have ton of spare pieces from this set, which is again awesome, because yeah, the brick quality is good, therefore it is always good to have extras when you need them for other sets that might miss a part or two. So I am super happy about that. And as you notice, we do have bunch of these orange pieces, and they are actually from this part over here, because in instructions we kind of use the orange color. However, there was also this little paper given with the set that says in which steps to replace orange bits with the red ones. And as you can see in the model, it only makes sense because at the end it is more red, and at the front it would be more like orange or yellowish. So yes, this color definitely matches the color of these parts over here. And speaking of these parts, yeah, I haven't seen parts like this in any other set, which makes me think that they are actually custom made for this one, which is awesome. It's always fun to see something new. And in my opinion, that's always a good sign that makes this whole building process more interesting. And I mean, now let's talk about the car itself a little more. And yes, as you can see, it has quite unique shape to it. Very futuristic in my opinion, but as I said, it represents the real life stuff really well in my opinion. We actually can steer the front wheels with the wheel that is actually inside the cockpit. The car has suspension both for front and back wheels. The whole build holds together quite sturdy. I wouldn't recommend picking it up just by these pieces because they are held in place on like 2 spots because they are just an outer shell. However, you can easily pick it up by like sides or back or fronts. So in my opinion, this is really nice and sturdy design. But now let's open the cockpit, and for that I need this thing, because right here we have this little knob sticking out where we can attach this and start screwing. And as you just saw, it takes quite some time to open this thing up. However, now inside we can see that we have an engine which actually has 10 cylinders and they are all moving around as you move the wheels. And also we have one seat in the middle, and yeah, here at the front we have some gauges, if we can see them on camera, or maybe like this. And there's also like this steering wheel in the front, which actually moves together with the front wheels. Also, another unique part that I don't think that I have seen before is this front like glass over here, which again works perfectly with this design. Although me personally, I would prefer it to be a little more translucent, because right now you can barely see through it, and when it's closed you don't see the seat inside or steering wheel or anything. But again, that would be just my personal preference. Overall, I think they have done excellent job with designing this car. However, only weak point in my opinion for this car is the way we open this cockpit, because as you saw, it takes quite a long time to just screw this thing around, because it's connected to these 2 beams inside on both sides, right here and over here, on which you have these screws that basically are propelling themselves forward on these ridges right below. So of course it is slow, but the biggest problem with that is the fact that sometimes like these long beams, they just come under a lot of like tension from like screwing this thing, and yeah, they bend upward, and that's not a quality issue for the parts. I think that's just a design oversight in a little bit. But you saw, it does work, although I would recommend helping with the second arm over here as you're like screwing it. Just like pull it at the same time gently, so that it wouldn't skip any like gears down there. And you maybe notice that I needed to put my finger underneath this front part as we reach this part right here, because it kind of gets stuck on those panels over here, because they are just slightly higher than the rest of the plane this screen follows as you open it. If I would be designing a cockpit like this, I would just have left this part sliding on those beams and maybe figure it out some sort of like a locking mechanism when it's shut. But yeah, as I said, that's just like a design thing, and it's not because the bricks would be like imprecise or anything. I would say that's definitely like a design oversight, and actually it's a really minor thing. That doesn't take away from like this whole building experience, which was absolutely amazing. And yes, one thing I really appreciate is the fact that once it's closed, you can just take off this kind of like a key, let's call it that, and you get this really nice looking thing without any extra knobs if you just want to display this set somewhere like on your shelf or anywhere. So right now I will actually try to show more of this car on camera just by spinning it around and trying to like give you all these angles that you haven't seen before. And yes, this is how it looks from underneath, and you can see, yes, there is this engine that I was talking about. And yes, I just wanted to mention that this is like an high difficulty building set, like I would call it like an expert builder set, but it is absolutely fun to do. And we end up like with this really solid design where you don't have that many like loose ends just sticking out, because most of these like knobs and everything is just covered by this outer shell, and altogether it looks really slick. So to sum up, I think this is a really nice set that looks awesome in my opinion. We had high quality bricks with little to none variation between them, and the small things like stickers and manual was also of a really high quality. And as I recently have done with a bunch of fake Legos that I have reviewed on this channel, I will also give this set a rating. And in my eyes, the only thing that kind of takes a few points away is the way how we open the cockpit. So I will give this whole experience a really solid A+. So yes, if I compare it to other experiences that I have had with Technica style sets, this one definitely is up there on my tier list. So now I want to say a huge thank you to barweer.com once again for sending me this set free of charge for this review. And I encourage you to check out the links in the video description and see what's on their store. But right now, I want to say a huge thank you for joining me today and watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, drop a comment, what do you think about this set? And if you want to see more videos like this, where I look at these Chinese brand building block sets, fake Legos and other stuff I find on the internet, maybe subscribe to my channel. Huge thank you for watching one more time, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye. Bye. Goodbye. Ooh, I definitely feel like Batman when I'm driving this car. Yeah, goodbye.